And I'm joined now by Song Zhang. He is the chief correspondent at Shanghai Wen Hui Daily's DC bureau covering politics and security news. So let's start with what happened in the South China Sea in this near collision there. Do you get the sense that it's reflecting or is stemming from the U.S.-China trade war, this sort of military tension we're seeing now?
Yes, I will agree with that, because I think this kind of things didn't happen often, and China and America have totally different narratives on it, but it shows the escalation of the tension between our two countries. And I will ask, are we going to see more kind of confrontations in South China Sea? Are we going to see a repeat of 2001, that kind of collision between one Chinese plane and U.S. one? Or I hope that will not happen.
Because if you look back maybe 6 months ago when you saw this sort of trade war brewing, yes, not yet happening, you hear both sides saying, you know, we have so much in common on so many other issues, it's just this one thing. And now we have Trump accusing China of election meddling, the U.S. Defense Secretary canceling his trip to China, and now this postponement of this major military dialogue that had been planned for a very long time. And so now you see these other things taking shape. What do you think the concerns are here?
I think the concerns are here to what are our two countries heading when it comes to our relationship. I will agree with you in the beginning. President Trump initiated this kind of tariff action against China. China was believing there can be a way out. We can find out some agreements to solve this problem. But I think President Trump then realized he can achieve much more than his original expectation. And some hawks in his administration are clearly trying to push other agendas like this South China Sea and many other issues. So the question for me is, what does President Trump want? Does he really want a good trade deal with Chinese side, or he will go to an extent that all these kind of hawkish policies will be done in the future, and the U.S. and China will face a kind of separation, or even, as some say, a Cold War?
There's also been talk that this could be political posturing as well. We have U.S. midterm elections coming up. Yes. But we also see that both President Xi and Trump could see each other face-to-face at the G20 summit in Argentina next month. What could that look like? Could we expect some sort of maybe bilateral meeting between the two?
I think rumors says these two leaders will meet over there, and I think that can be a very good news. But the thing is now, I heard U.S. side is telling Chinese side we are willing to have a summit, but Chinese side might be thinking, what kind of issues are we going to talk? Is President Trump really trying to to have a kind of agreement on trade and other issues with China, or it's going to be just talks? Because we reached some trade agreements back in May, and it was immediately kind of kicked out by President Trump's administration. Our Chinese side needs to know what is the real demand, what is the real position from the White House, from President Trump. Then I think that the summit can only be successful.
All right, Song Zhang, always great to hear your insight. Thank you for joining us.